All right. Welcome back to the Wrestling Laureate Podcast, presented to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. Just to kind of reiterate what we talked about in segment one, we talked about Monday Night Raw and how big it was. It was a pretty big event for. It was a big event for Cody. It was a big event for DIY. It was a big event for the New Day making their way back onto the main roster after winning the NXT championships. Also, it was pretty huge for Becky Lynch. And like I mentioned before, hopefully she knows what she's doing because you have a pretty pissed off Rhea Ripley waiting for you at WrestleMania. But hey, she's the man. So hopefully she has it all figured out, in that. But first, before we move on to my next segment, I would like to just remind you guys that just post questions during the show so we can talk back and forth as wrestling fans. If you're watching wrestling right now, and if you're all alone, and you want someone by your side to talk wrestling with, I can be that guy. Like I can be your guy. Like not in a creepy way, of course not. But like I can be that wrestling guy that you just bounce off ideas and we can have like a nice little combo. Be kind of dope. So to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask you to use the tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net with your questions. Just put your questions on top of the list so that I can see it. And also, it really helps the show. Leave a positive review. Peace, love, positivity, baby, all day, every day. And again, the link is the gsmcpodcast.net. Okay, so let's talk WWE NXT. I don't know. Whenever the NXT like promos come up during the Raw commercials, it's always like super cool. I don't know why. I don't know if they tried harder for NXT, but it's definitely WWE creative definitely doing their job there. Definitely, I'm investing. I'm invested. All right. Just right off the bat, we have Trick Williams that came back on the last show, confronted Carmelo Hayes, and he was interrupted by Noam Dar and a couple others, and he just laid a giant kiss on Lashes. Like that's crazy. Like I like talk about a dude with confidence right there. Like I remember my first kiss was nothing like that at all. But hey, like if you got the juice, do it, baby. But Trick Williams, I think that they're gonna have like a nice little kind of like a nice little feud here between him and Carmelo Hayes. Both of them are very athletic. They're like that perfect mix between like they could fight for like a heavyweight championship, but they can also be like a cruiserweight where they're doing backflips off the top rope. And that so I think that's it's gonna be amazing to watch. And I hope at Stand and Deliver they kind of have like a nice little like I don't want to see just like a one-on-one singles match. And I know WWE's kind of, they're kind of known for that, but I don't they did have that, that street match between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano when they broke up DIY. But I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think it's going to be that bad. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where they go with that storyline. So, cross my fingers. Anyway, so Trick Williams is facing Noam Dar tonight. Make sure you tune into that. Noam Dar was, of course, like he's been with the WWE for so long, ever since they had 205 Live, like which is a show I absolutely miss. 205 Live, Cedric Alexander. You had Mustafa Ali, Drew Gulak. You had Neville. You had T.J. Perkins and all these guys that were just like jumping up the top ropes and just killing it. I think even Kalisto was on 205 Live, but you don't quote me on that. But, well, I don't know. I really miss kind of like a cruiserweight division on the WWE. I've expressed it to you guys countless times over the last couple of podcasts that they should either bring back the cruiserweight belt or the light heavyweight championship. But I don't know. We'll see what WWE wants to do after Mania. Also, another match that we kind of have our eyes on is Axiom and Nathan Frazier. They're fighting in a tag team bout with a no quarter catch crew. Drew Lock, of course, rocking that crew, being like the manager, so to speak, which he's doing a pretty darn good job. He's doing a darn good job. He's antagonizing his opponents. He's on William Regal's like shiitake mushrooms list. Like, I think what they're doing with his character is pretty cool. And I remember, like I said, I'm going to bring back 205 Live again. I remember Drew Gulak was kind of like I think he had like this, he kind of had this saying, not a saying, but like Like he's the cruiserweight, where he wasn't really flashy on the top rope. He wasn't the one to like jump on the middle rope and do like a lion salt. He wasn't the one to do a suicide dive or like a lariat over the top rope onto the outside flooring. He wasn't that type of wrestler, but Drew Gulak, he's obviously the company decided to keep him around for this long, that he has some juice, man. He has some juice. Next, we have a triple threat tag team qualifier. We have Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. So that should be pretty interesting. I honestly haven't seen the OC compete in a long time. I don't know if this is kind of their way to. I don't want to say demote, because it's not like going down to NXT's in any way, shape, or form a demotion. But I think they're just kind of bringing. I think you kind of have the New Day coming back, and then you have the OC. Like they're just kind of switching spots. You know what I mean? And they're entertaining. I like watching Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and especially after the whole AJ Styles like breakdown kind of thing, where he was kind of like kind of butting heads with Carl Anderson. I don't know. I think this is a good fit for the OC. So I would like to see them win this match. But also we have the Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez has recently she attacked the NXT Women's Champion. Damn near broke her arm. But I think it should be. I don't know. She has a lot of talent, and she did. She technically really didn't lose her belt. She did and she didn't. But I don't know. Roxanne Perez. She's a special talent, and I think that the WWE is going to find a way to kind of utilize her. But I don't know. She's kind of like that top heel right now. She kind of reminds me of like a Sasha Banks kind of heel, like because of her God-given abilities and her like ability to trash talk and get under your skin. You kind of have to respect her. But I don't know. I see big things for Roxanne Perez. She's fighting Tatum Paxley. So honest, I think that's kind of like one of those gimme matches. They kind of flex your strength and see how dominant you really are. Another match that we're going to have is Sol Ruca versus Brynlee Reese. Sol Ruca recently has made her return to WWE NXT. And I think she's just trying to get back into swing of things because she has championship like potential. Like she can carry that WWE NXT championship to new heights. I I watched a couple of her matches, and I really, really, honestly, I like her. I like the way she kind of wrestles. I like the way that I don't know. She's good on the mic. Right now she's kind of like that baby face. So a nice little Roxanne Perez versus Sol Ruca, maybe at Stand and Deliver, would be pretty dope. But I don't know. It depends what the WWE wants to do. Next we have Tony D'Angelo coming out talking about his upcoming NXT World Championship match. Um, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna win or not, because I know Dragunov, he's been the champion for a pretty long time. It's been a pretty long time, and D'Angelo, he's kind of over right now with the crowd. Like he's like he's that face that everybody likes to cheer for. He has an Italian mob like storyline that could probably last in the WWE for like ages. And I think WWE, they've done that before, but I ain't gonna tell nobody. But in that. But I do honestly think that at Stand and Deliver, I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna shock the world. That's gonna be that shock factor. So look forward to that. And lastly, we have the North American champion Oba Femi addressing the NXT locker room, which is going to be pretty awesome because like I said before, I don't think there's anybody that can kind of hang with this guy. This Nigerian, just like champion, man. Like this guy looks dominant. He kind of looks like Big E when he came into the WWE, like this big strapping guy that's gonna kick your butt at like any given moment. And you put a strap on him or like a title, like you want to beat that guy? Guess what? Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And a couple of the NXT superstars that I think could like fight him. I don't know. I don't think any of them kind of have the momentum right now to kind of beat this guy. But honestly, I think him coming out to kind of address the WWE NXT universe is gonna kind of set him up for a match at Stand and Deliver. Someone's gonna come out thinking that I think it's that Briggs guy. I think it's Jensen's tag team partner that's gonna come out and like be like, you beat up my friend. You annihilated him. You destroyed him. You humiliated him. And now I'm going to take that title off around. I'm going to humiliate you. You know, kind of something like that. I can imagine, like, I don't know. That could be happening as I'm speaking right now. But I don't know. I think that, you know, if anything, that's the kind of way they would, you know, kind of, you know, go after that kind of aspect on trying to find Obafemi, you know, a championship bout at the grandest stage of them all. So I don't know. All right. Well, don't go anywhere. So segment 3 is right around the corner, and we're gonna talk Drew McIntyre. We're gonna talk about the Scottish Warrior, and basically how he's right now in talks with WWE to kind of renew his contract, which WWE desperately needs to do. If they let go Drew McIntyre, I don't know. I'm seriously gonna question like my fanaticship of the WWE. But hey, I mean, we'll talk about it.